The day started like any other, with a sense of ordinary routine. I was browsing through a dusty old thrift store in a sleepy, forgotten town. My fascination with old technology often led me to explore the corners of these shops, hoping to stumble upon hidden treasures. It was on this particular day that I found the tape. Buried amidst a jumble of disheveled VHS tapes, it was an unmarked, nondescript cassette. The absence of a label or any identifying marks made it all the more intriguing. I felt a strange compulsion to purchase it, as if it were calling out to me from the past, whispering secrets of its own. The elderly shopkeeper barely glanced at it, as if he wanted to be rid of it. As I paid for the tape, he gave me a cryptic warning. Be careful with what you find, young one. Sometimes the past is best left forgotten. I brushed off his words as the ramblings of an eccentric old man and headed back to my apartment. I didn't own a VHS player myself, but a friend had one. I figured we could watch it later, just for the fun of it, to see what mysterious content might lie within. That evening, I went to my friend Mike's house. We were both excited, curious to uncover the secrets of the mysterious tape. His old VHS player creaked to life, and we inserted the cassette, not knowing the darkness that would soon engulf us. The video began with a grainy shot of an old house, its paint peeling and windows shattered. The image flickered and distorted as the camera moved inside. It was clear that this was no ordinary home. The air was thick with an oppressive, almost malevolent aura. The camera was in the hands of an unseen person who moved through the house with a sense of determination. Each room held a sense of decay, as if the house itself were rotting from within. Dust and cobwebs shrouded the furniture like ancient funeral veils. As the unseen camera person ventured further, they stumbled upon a room that sent a shiver down my spine. It was a child's bedroom, adorned with decaying toys and faded posters. But the most chilling aspect was a grotesque mural painted on the wall. It depicted grotesque, nightmarish figures, twisted and contorted in the most grotesque poses. It was a visual representation of madness. The camera lingered on the mural, and as we watched, we heard a low, haunting whisper in the audio track. We couldn't make out the words, but the voice carried a sense of profound despair and longing. Suddenly, the footage cut to black, and then the image returned, this time in a pitch-black room, illuminated only by the faint glow of a candle. In the center of the room stood a person, their back turned to the camera. The flickering candlelight cast long, unsettling shadows on the walls. The person turned slowly, and as they came into view, we were horrified by what we saw. It was a child, or what was left of one. Their face was twisted and disfigured, their eyes empty voids of darkness. They opened their mouth, and an inhuman wail pierced through the speakers, sending shivers down our spines. Mike and I were both gripped by an overwhelming sense of dread, yet we couldn't look away. The child continued to wail, the sound growing louder and more piercing, until it felt like it was cutting into our very souls. The video abruptly cut to static, and the VHS player emitted a high-pitched screech. Mike hastily ejected the tape, and the room fell into an eerie silence. We sat there, pale and trembling, unable to comprehend what we had just witnessed. The tape was a window into something dark and malevolent, a sinister force that had twisted and contorted the very fabric of reality. It felt as though we had glimpsed the abyss, and it had stared back at us. We decided to return the tape to the thrift store to rid ourselves of its malevolence. As we walked into the shop, we found it empty, the elderly shopkeeper gone. There was no trace of the mysterious tape, as if it had never existed. Mike and I left shaken and bewildered, vowing never to speak of the tape again. But its haunting memory stayed with us, an unshakable shadow that lurked in the corners of our minds. To this day, I can't help but wonder about the origins of that lost tape, the sinister house, and the tormented child. Was it a glimpse into a real-life horror, a malevolent force that sought to escape through the screen, or simply a fabrication of a deranged mind? One thing was certain. Some mysteries are best left unsolved, some tapes are best left lost, and some secrets are better off remaining buried in the past.